Hello, happy Thursday morning. Welcome to the Shootout with Penny. Um, I am Penny, and this is my guest, OG Trades. We're coming to you live from the Place Your Trades Network. Today, we'll be talking about the Strat. Today's podcast is brought to you by Tradeovate, which has built a custom app dedicated to trading event contracts. This is what we're all using at Place Your Trades. Use the link in the chat to start using the Tradeovate app for free, where you can follow along and make your own picks. And make sure you like and subscribe to our channel and set notifications so you never miss our podcast. So today we have the Shootout with Penny, which I'm loving doing. It's like my favorite 30 minutes of the week, other than my show tomorrow with Pax. So if you're free tomorrow morning, you can join me and Pax for Capital Preservation Friday. We have been trading the opening range, and it has been working very well for event contracts. Event contracts are quickly becoming my favorite thing to trade. You can follow me on Twitter at PennyLaneBBM, and I'm doing a small account challenge. I started on Tuesday with $200, and I've made 25% on that account in 2 days. I love these products because where else can you trade futures with $200? I don't know of another place. So thank you so much to Tradeovate for making the app. And I really am enjoying these products. As soon as I heard about them, I really thought it was a match made in heaven with the Strat. You guys know from Twitter how much I love the Strats. So this morning, I brought my friend OG Trades to really talk about how we can use the Strat to trade event contracts. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are
Awesome.
you?
I'm doing wonderful. I literally just got off about 15 minutes ago from doing the live pre-market on the Sepia Group YouTube page. So hopping from one to another, and we're getting things rolling. But absolutely
So you're
awesome.
ready to roll.
Oh, I'm ready to roll. I'm completely caffeinated.
How's the market this morning? What do you have?
Well, the market's we've got an inside day. So if we're talking strat stuff, I mean, we can kind of explain a little bit for anybody that doesn't understand the strat. We can kind of go through that. If you guys want to share my screen, we can go ahead and do that. We're prepared for whenever you are ready. And so here, thanks to our friends at TrendSpider, I love the platform because they have so many strat setup built into it. So right now we're currently inside. So what do I mean by an inside setup? A 1 bar. Okay. So for anybody that doesn't understand the strat, we've got scenarios, 3 scenarios to be more specific. Is you've got your 1, your 2s, and your 3s. Okay. So they're labeled, and all you have to do is go to indicators and look up the strat. And as soon as you get the strat, you get these numbers, and you can color them however you want to color them. So it's easy to identify. And I think that's one of the things you like about it, is because you can easily identify and speak to other traders in the same type of language. So an inside bar, a number 1 scenario, means that we aren't able to break the high or the low of that previous candle. So that's what a 1 scenario is. It's an inside bar. It's consolidation. Okay. The 2 scenario, which is, I know that we talked about it on your podcast with 3 little bears. So this is the one bear. Then we've got the 2 that is directional. Okay. The 2 just gives you some direction, some context to where we could go with price. So if we go 2 up, that's 2 up directionally. We were able to take out the high of that previous candle. So once you take out the high of that previous candle, it becomes a 2. In this situation right here, it broke the low of the previous candle and it became a 2. And you'll hear me repeat that over and over again, that we're always referring to the previous candle, because it works on every single time frame, from like the 15-second chart, from what I've seen people trade the strat, which is mind-blowing to trade the 15-second charts. But you can go from 15 seconds all the way to yearly charts if you wanted to trade yearly charts, because you're always referring to that previous candle. So it works on every time frame and any product that you want to trade, whether it's Forex, whether it's crypto, whether it's what we're trying to do here, right? With futures and trading these event contracts, it's going to really play in very well. So the 3 scenario is just a 2 scenario that went in conflict, which is the right way to call it. A lot of people are calling it a failed two, but we like to keep the context and the continuity with our language the same. So it is a two that was in conflict and was able to go through that previous time frames range, that previous candle's range, and take out the other side. That is an outside bar. Okay, so we've got our one scenario that's inside, our two scenario that's directional, and our three scenario that is an outside bar. And that's really the very bare bones basics of the strat. Then you can add things like time frame continuity to help increase your win rate, because you want to trade in the direction of the trend. Because Penny, we've heard it over and over again, as newer traders, trade with the trend. The trend is your friend. Don't try and fight the current, whatever analogy you want to use. But time frame continuity, once you throw that out there, then it becomes even more powerful, because you're going to have higher probability trades. And that's what we're looking for when we're trading these event contracts. What is the higher probability for these contracts to play out, right?
Absolutely. And I would like to just explain the three little bears. It just maybe click in people's mind, because it sure helped
Yeah.
me. So the one candle is the inside bar. So that's a little bitty baby bear. We don't really trade the one. The two is, the middle bear, and he's trying to grow up or down, whatever the case may be. He's not a baby anymore. He's trying to grow up or down. And then the three candle is the big little bear, and he's all grown up. So I really love that analogy. And I absolutely love the strat as a system for taking trades. My favorite thing about the strat is it provides an entry, a stop, and a target. It takes the guesswork out of trading. And I, for 2 years, was an EMA trader, and it was so subjective. I would get in a trade and I'd be like, well, my stop is below the 20 EMA. And then we'd get to the 20 EMA and it would break it. And I'd be like, I mean a close below the 20 EMA, or all kind of crap that I would say in my mind. And I would just be like, it led to massive losses. And I love the strat because it is an if-then trading system. And there is nothing I love more as far as trading. So love the strat, love everything you're doing. I think it's a fantastic vehicle for both new traders and sophisticated traders. Big fan. With that being said, Alex, I would love if you could bring up my screen as well. All right. So event contracts are simply just yes or no choices on futures. So all you have to do, we offer a lot of different categories. We have the E-mini, we have the NASDAQ, or as Pat says, the Snazzy Nazi, which is my fave. We have the E-mini Dow, light sweet crude oil, which will never not make me laugh. Gold, the Russell, the Euro, Henry Hub natural gas, silver, and my all-time favorite, copper, because you cannot make a penny without copper. So I would love to make some picks with you. Let's trade some stuff. Let's get into it. Can we look at the S&P on your screen, please?
Yeah. Yep. You're talking about the ES, right?
Because that's what we're.
Yeah, it's on my screen.
Perfect. So what are you seeing? What is tradable for you today in terms of a yes/no trade?
So I'm looking at today's open for the Globex session, because I look at the entire time frame. I don't just look at the New York open. I like to see where we open for the actual overall session, which is 5 p.m. Central. So I'm taking in all of the Asian session, London session into account when I'm looking at what we could potentially be seeing. So based off these contracts, can you say that name again? These event contracts. The event contracts. So if I'm looking at price trading right now, we're still inside of the yesterday's range, and we're right about the middle of that range. So I'm either going to be looking at this thing to stay below 3,900, because that might, where are you at for your contracts right now? Your question, Alex, the first one right there, it says, sorry, will it end above 3,850, right? That's
Yes,
the first
Alex,
one.
can you actually take his screen down and put mine on the left? Thank you so
There,
much. Okay, so I think we can see the Trade of 8 app a little bit better here. So the
there we
question
go.
is, will it end above 38.50? So we could take a yes or a no on that, or we have all of these strikes that we could choose from.
And that's perfect because what I'm looking at right now is because we are still inside on the day, it's indecisive, it's consolidating. So we don't, as far as strat looking at price action, we don't know the direction quite yet. I can drill into a lower time frame and probably come up with a scenario, but as I'm looking at it and based off these event contracts, I would be saying that we are going to close below 3,900. Since we are trading on the lower range of yesterday, and it was a shooter. So for the strat, what we're looking for is actionable signals, hammers, shooters, inside bar breaks, but we're currently trading inside. So what I'd be looking for is to stay below 3,900 since we are still inside of yesterday's range. So if we break above 3,900, then of course, then I was incorrect directionally, right? But based off of everything that I'm looking at right now, we're still inside and we're trading on the lower half of yesterday's range.
Let's take a no. I mean, I'm never afraid to take a trade. That's one of the best things about me. So let's have a no. You know what I love so much about this app is you hit place order and it just boom fills you right there. Love that.
Yep.
Let's go back and is there anything else you would like to look at? What's your favorite thing to trade?
Well, my favorite thing is the S&P 500, so we kind of covered that. But I also like crude oil and natural gas as well. So we can take a look at both. If I'm pulling up crude oil right now, and I would say that crude oil right now is not going to close below. I think it's going to close above 90 today,
Okay.
um, which is something that I would be looking at. Magnitude is up in that area, and that's something that stratters look for. Is where is my magnitude, right? So
Oh, what does that mean?
so, like what you spoke about, it kind of gives you a target. So, our magnitude is our target, and it is a two continuation on crude oil. However, I traditionally, when I'm trading regular futures, I'm not looking for continuations, but with these event contracts, it opens up the door to be able to still be somewhat directional and not have to over, what's the word, like over um, leverage myself in a direction because we know that threes exist. We talked about the scenarios where a two up can turn around on us and take out the other side of that range. But with the way that crude oil has been moving, um, and energy stocks have just been rising. We've taken a look at XLE. $90 right there is kind of looming, and it's been kind of a bit of a, if you want to call it a resistance. And that's why I think we're going to be breaking through because of the crude oil inventories that came out yesterday. So
All
that's
right,
that's
let's
my
take the
that's my
yes.
process.
Now,
Yep.
are you're feeling good about this one?
Yes.
All right, all right. Let's hit it
Yes.
with like 6. Boom. Done. Place is my
There you
order.
go.
I'm in.
You're
I'm in.
done.
That's all I have to do. All right.
That's
And
smooth.
all right, what
There you go.
else did you say?
Natural gas. Natural gas is
Natty.
the other one that yep.
Why
Henry
don't
Hub.
people call that Natty Light? Did people not were people not 18 ever? I'm like
or
pro
in college frat parties. That's a staple.
exactly.
Yep.
Let's go. Why aren't people calling it the Natty? But
But yeah, the Henry Hub, absolutely. I, with natural gas, I've been bullish since about 3 days ago, 4 days ago, when we just had 6 or 7 consecutive days. Let me see, one, two, we had 6 consecutive days where it was selling off. So I'm looking for price to either stay below 630, which an event contract on that probably, I'm not sure whether you have it. I think we're gonna close below $6 today. The reason why I'm saying that is because there is a bit of a gap up that happened. So I'd be looking for price to fill in below $6 down to down to like 575 before we see it move higher. With that gap that happened, that's what I would be leaning towards is that we close today below 6. But that's not really a strat setup because we've already went 2 up. Okay. So this is purely like just
it's a
fundamentalish type of
vibe.
It's kind of the vibe, right? So we took out a lot of stops. All those stops. I know you can't see my screen right now, but we talk about as stratters pivot machine guns, and that's you're right. I should probably say trigger warning before I say that, but pivot machine gun. That when you have 5 consecutive candles in one direction, whether it's 5 2 down candles or 5 2 up candles, typically what happens is you break one of those highs and you go reversal, you're going to go out and take out every single high of those 5 candles, which we pretty much did between the last 3 days and this jump up higher. So what do you get? Typically traders talk about breakout retests, right? So I'm seeing that this took out all those levels and it's going to come back in, have some corrective activity, which as stratters we call TTO. That's a Rob Smith is the creator of the strat, and that's one of his Robisms. We call him Robisms because he makes words up all the time. But a TTO just means corrective activity. It stands for triangle day out, which means exactly that. What happens is price goes up, triangles out all of those stops, goes back into corrective activity, and then resumes direction in the trend. So that's typically how price aggregates. You're looking for liquidity and you're looking for price to go up and down. So long answer to a very short answer. I think it's going to stay. And there we go. It just went to 550. It just went to 550 just like that.
I mean, how much do we want to spend on this? Like Anthony,
Well,
the godfather of place your trades, likes it. Let's get I mean, boom.
Wow.
I feel like that's a correct position size. Here we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. I see, I talk too much sometimes. Penny, you got to wrangle me in, because if you would have got that just seconds before, it would have been a wonderful trade.
Well, I was so enthralled in what you were saying. Also, shout out to Rob Smith. We love Rob. I mean, definitely. What a mad scientist. You know, I have my own podcast called the Penny Lane Podcast. And if you guys want to search Penny Lane Podcast, Rob Smith, what a way to spend an hour. That man's energy is just unmatchable.
Oh, it is off the wall. Off the wall.
Totally.
Yep.
All right. Did you want to look at anything else?
We could look at all of them if you wanted to, but those are the ones that I like to trade. We could take a look at the NQ. I know that Meta was kind of a dunce overnight just because of earnings, and we have a lot of weakness coming into tech. So we could take a look at the NQ, and we got a 2-2 reversal we already got the 2-2 reversal yesterday, so we're continuing today. So I would be looking for this to stay below 11,500. And I believe we closed below 11,500.
Will it end? So that's a yes.
That Wait, it will no, it would no. It would be a no.
Okay. Whew. All right. This feels good. Feels right.
Yep. Well, we've got the 2 down. We've got the 2 down that already gave us the direction. However, we do know that 3s exist. And if for some reason, buyers step in and want to take over, 3s do exist. And I do with these event contracts, you can close your position. You don't have to let it go to 0. So risk management is still a very real part of trading these, but it is a wonderful entry into futures. And yeah, you guys have nailed it with this.
I do want to just re-say what you said. So there are 2 kind of strategies here. You can flatten your position at any time. Yeah, I'm doing a small account challenge, which I mentioned at the beginning, and I was up $100 yesterday. So I started with 200, I got to 300, and obviously one strategy is to flatten your trade, and then another strategy is to just let it run until the end of the day. And I have been more just like letting the trade play out. But I really learned yesterday that correct risk management, profit taking, all the things that I do in my day trading really do apply here. And the fact that I didn't close out at the high of day, learned a lesson.
Learned a lesson. The other nice thing is, because you can flatten your position and you have these event contracts, you can use these as a form to hedge if you're already trading futures. It's a good way to be able to hedge your positions, but that's going to take some strategy, some playing around with, to kind of hone in your process. But it's a wonderful product to be able to hedge your positions that you're already in. So keep that in mind too.
I mean, what an array of uses for these event
Hmm.
contracts.
Definitely. Yeah.
I'm not a hedger because I was actually, my dogs are here. Hello, dogs. I was talking to Anthony on the phone the other day, and I was like, I'm not a hedger because I like to like take a big position and be right and get all my
Yep.
money. I mean, talk about stubbornness. I didn't know I have, but
Yeah. Yeah.
we learn a lot of
Uh,
things about ourselves trading. Can we
absolutely.
look at copper just for me?
Yeah. So we got HG. I got to make sure that we have the right contract. HG. I'll pull up. Oops. Why is it not pulling up? I'm using TrendSpider right now as well, but I don't have that on my watch list. So I got to find the right contract. You always want to make sure you're on the right contract, especially with futures. HG. All right. All right. Based off of volume, we're looking at HGV. Nope, HGX.
I just learned that HG was the ticker name for copper yesterday.
There you go.
I
The
mean,
nice thing about it is right there on the platform, it shows HG copper.
HG, exact, literally right there.
Yeah.
I
So
mean, how have I missed this?
I don't know, but you'd be surprised at the stuff that I miss as well. Trust me. So we had a big move on copper yesterday as far as the day. It trades very choppy intraday. So it's not the most fun to trade. But if you're looking at something like metals and you like to trade metals just based off of the global economic conditions, like there's metal bugs out there. There's people that just trade metals, and they know how this moves very well. My counterpart on the Discord trading live is John Antonelli, and he trades gold, silver, copper, all the metals, and so he knows a lot more about this. But looks like we're still inside on the day. We're trading inside yesterday's range. This doesn't look like it wants to, I'm thinking that we're going to stay above 350 on copper.
Okay.
Right now it's trading at 355. We're still inside on the day, but we've found some move, and I think we're going to stay above 350 for the day. If you've got a contract there, you're looking at 355. Right now
At
we're
this
just barely above 355, but if 350 is one, then I would say that we would trade above it. I know you're not going to get that much of a win out of it, but I still think 350 is a good number that we're going to stay above.
All right, let's go. Now, I'm going to ask this live on air, and could be fairly embarrassing to me. But so, oh, never mind, answered it myself. So let's move on. That was a silly question. All right, we have time for one more trade. Do you have
Sure.
anything you'd like to look at?
I would like to look at the Russell, the RTY. The Russell has been showing a lot of, yeah, it's been showing quite a bit of strength in this weakness. And I think that we probably will stay above 1800 on the RTY. And like I said, it's been showing some relative strength while the rest of the market has been weak. So now with the market showing some more relative strength, it's going to benefit from that. And we're definitely above some resistance levels. So now we could see some support there at the 1800 psychological level.
Cool. You know what I love about RTY is I've got a little bit of dyslexia, and every time I look at RTY, it reminds me of party.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you glance at it and you're like, all right, party time with these
Party time.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So if you guys have enjoyed the show, I have a couple of asks for you. First of all, I would very much like you to subscribe to the channel. That would be wonderful. There's also a nice thumbs up button at the bottom of your YouTube screen. If you could hit the thumbs up button, I would very, very much appreciate it. And there's a link in the chat. It says start trading event contracts here. It takes you directly to our website. And if you could just enter your email address, it will take you to get the app, the Tradeaway app, which allows you to trade these event contracts. It also puts you on our mailing list, and we are about to come out with an amazing newsletter with a lot of wonderful information written by Shy Girl. This is going to be like the hottest thing in trading. So there is no reason not to go put your email address in, get started today. Like I said, in the beginning, I am trading futures with $200 in my small account, and I've made 25% on it. Like, seems like the best thing going to me. I'm for sure all in on these event contracts, and I'm even more all in on using the strat to trade these things. So, OG, thank you so much for your time. You provided so much clarity here, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime.
Okay. Well, I hope you have a fantastic trading day, and let's get ready for the opening bell. I'll see you guys next Thursday. Go shoot out with Penny.